What is up with everybody? Sorry for the motion sickness. It'll stop shaking in a minute, maybe. Bad for you, ground pounder. Dano, what's up? So we're going to be a little more into the chat tonight than we normally are. What up, John Bob? How are you, brother? I just left my brother's wedding. Like, literally just walked in the door. This is another one of them times where I was this close to just being like, I can't, guys. Like, yeah. I look like a homeless. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, maybe not. Yeah, not tonight. On one side, I was about to crash out. Like, I'm half soused. Like, it's been a long day. And just splashing water on my face. And let's go do this. How we doing, Peter? Oh, sweet. Well, I appreciate that, low impact. What up, Tim? I think it was. I feel like it may be the week of cringy videos. I've been in amazement at some of the things that I've seen. To see full-grown men imitating TikTok children and making videos is humorous, funny, just embarrassing. So, what up, Bert? Damn, Bert, I'm not trying to be like pocket watching. I've been waiting to see you. I'm not trying to be pocket watching or nothing like that, or tube watching. I'm not trying to watch your tube, but dude, you get steady, good views. Like, I started checking, and I was like, damn, Bert does good. Like, you do good. The fact that you just stay real and just are you, your views are so good and so steady. Like, shout out to, like, everything you're doing over there. Don't change any of it, especially while everybody else is doing low numbers and you're doing good. That's crazy, dude. I dig it. Let's see. 45 minutes. You sure did, Dana. I'd like to see it, John Bob, because I was forced to have to watch somebody use one of those 2511Ts, and it sounds like it's about to die. They sound like crap, factory too. No offense to anybody who has one, but like stock, they just sound so bleh in the cut. What up, Fred? Damn, I can't catch up. You guys type too fast. I think my rip's off. Oh my god. I'm sick of Ripsaw. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just me. I watched a full-grown man make the most embarrassing video, like a Ripsaw commercial, and I had secondhand embarrassment. How you doing, Fred? Like, to no end. I don't know if I've ever watched something and been so embarrassed. I'm like, you have so many more gray hairs than I do, and I wouldn't do that. But, like, I don't know. There's a different kind of dudes out there. Let's just say that. Let's get down on a John Cutter. I back that. I back that before I back that ripsaw shit. I'm sorry. It's like, I didn't think the tree industry was this bad, but man, over the last 4 to 6 years, you can watch, everything's a fad. Like, if this guy does it, everybody does it. Like, and everything goes in these crazy fads. It's weird. And when you get someone kind of original, they stick out like a sore thumb. Can you port my Milwaukee, John? He probably can't. He probably can't. So, what do you guys think about that Milwaukee? That new Milwaukee. Now they're making battery-powered axe splitters. Like, so you can split your wood with it. What do you backing that too? Will that fit in your purse next to your battery-powered saw? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Let's get a shit saw. I back that too. But yeah, oh my god. I'm so over it. Everything I watch has to be ripsaw this, ripsaw that, ripsaw this, ripsaw that. You ever had something that you enjoyed and you thought was cool, and then someone just come in and like bought it out and made it something that you don't like anymore? That's what I feel like they're doing. How about just have a natural, instead of like, I don't know. I tend to go the opposite direction when I see things going a certain way. You can notice that or not, like, or if you don't acknowledge it, but you're either one of those two people. You kind of go in the other direction when fads are happening, and certain ones maybe you go with because they pique your interest, but it's hard for me to believe that every person has the same exact interest and they all do the same. Or are you just so easily influenced that you just do what you see? I don't know. Like, I was going down the highway, I had to buy a fridge. And of course, it's on the very back of my trailer because my trailer boards are rotted out, and that's the best part of the trailer is the very back. So I have it strapped down, and I'm not going over the speed limit. I'm going like 60 and a 65. Some lady flips me off and stuff because I'm not going fast enough. And it's like, what? So she went to pass me, and like, because I wasn't going fast, she slowed down next to me. And I feel like that's what people do. They just like, they're cruising going slow, and you go to pass them or something, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a gas pedal too, and so they stay with you the whole way. I don't know if I fit in with this new world like I used to. I don't know. I just, maybe it's me. Who knows? But I guess I should start this. But we lost one, and I don't know who it may be. So it is what it is. I'm gonna give somebody a shout out here that maybe I shouldn't, but it is what it is. So these people are part of the memberships, what keeps the channel going. Shout out to In the Trees, William Moxie, Low Impact Forestry and Tree, Ground Pounder, J306, Super Shay, 5 Chris 5, James R, Buck Yeah Saws, Buckwheat, Guilty of Treason, Veterans Tree Service, Birch Leaf, DJ Leslie, and Dano Tree Works. So shout out to those people. Appreciate you guys joining the memberships. It definitely makes this, it's starting to make this to where it's worthwhile, you know. I like the fact that I put out videos and it's appreciated more than the other. I don't like, the views doesn't matter as much as like people appreciate your time, effort. Yeah. But let's go. I'm trying to think. I don't know if we do a PSA this week. I think we just go straight into what happened, and I haven't received it yet. They charge $500 to port a saw. I ordered the 2511T from Ripsaw, and it may. Dang. Yeah, see, that's a bummer. I like O'Reilly's for brake and stuff. Sweet. Yeah, see, it pisses me off because they're charging that much. It ain't Fred's fault. Fred wants what every of all these guys are as good as they say they are, and they're like, this is the best, this is the best, this is the best. Fred's like, I would like to try the best, but just like Buck and Billy Ray's doing, you can go buy a nail down boot if you want to try a nail down boot, and it will be much cheaper than the one that he's selling you. But he's going to tell you his is the best because it says Bucking on it, and that's not true. That's just, think about it. Every time somebody recommends a tool to you, check the bio, check the description, and make sure that they ain't making money off telling you that they like this tool. Because I would love to hear someone say, I enjoyed and liked the tool, and I bought it, and I would buy it again. That's when you know it's a good tool. Not, this company sent me this tool, I used it, and it's really cool. So would you buy one, though, is what I want to know. I don't want to know that this is amazing. Would you pay for this? And I'm sure if you're bucking, you'd find some hem-hawing way to be like, yeah, it's worth spending $1,250 for, like, I don't know about all that, but that kind of stuff turns my stomach. I would like to see people get good deals on stuff instead of being overcharged just because someone else recommended it. I think that's kind of lame. Just because you use a tool, you put it in your bio, and you make money, like, what the hell? It's so scummy, like the way some people try to make $1 on everything in life. Listen to this. I just went to my brother's wedding. I was best man. I just left there, okay? My cousin was, for some reason, hired by my sister-in-law's dad to come be the photographer. While she was invited to the wedding and was supposed to come anyway, she ends up being paid to just like, I don't think that's my car. Yeah, she ends up getting paid. It's unreal. And she's just like half-assing everything. And I know her. She's my cousin. I know she's not a professional photographer, but nowadays you can just put whatever you want on the internet, and there's a sucker out there that will pay for it and believe you, because for some reason they have this false impression that you have to be actually qualified to say that you're qualified on the internet, and that's not true. I could tell you that I can do surgeries, but like, don't come to me and expect me to cut you open and take an organ out. That's not a good idea. I'm just telling you. What up, Babylon? Oh, products are a waste of money. That's what they are. I like that, Babylon. I'm not buying no more clout products. If I like somebody, supporting them, let's not hide in supporting somebody behind a product. Like, back that person. I think that's awesome. If someone has merch and you want to buy their merch to support them, I like that. That's honest. But like, them making money while they're making a company money comes off a little weird down the line for me personally. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Tim, what the? That's so sick. What the hell? I love that. I'm gonna get up in the morning. My saw's gonna be missing too. I'm gonna be so pissed. I'll call you too. I swear to God, I will. First thing in the morning. You jerk. It's so funny. Oh. That is a lie. That is a fucking lie. You are such a jerk. Found an electric saw. That you know that ain't true, man. You know that ain't true. That's slander. I got fucking okay. You see? Okay, since you're here, Tim. Okay, JLM Tree Service. I go to watch his video and I go scrolling the damn comment section, and he's talking about how I need to be arrested for slander and this and that, crying about how I said he hit the roof on that metal on that crane job or something. Brother, the sound of a chain hitting a metal roof is very, very distinct. I've done it. You hit the roof. You may have just nicked it with a tooth, but the noise is not. There's no mistaking it. The roof was hit. He's crying in there about he was to your comment. I think he came back. Oh yeah, actually I got a bone to pick. That lift ain't mine, jerk. Stop passing that rumor around. That green goofy looking thing. You find footage of me in that goofy ass thing. Find footage of me in that thing. Just because that stupid ass thing kept making it into my videos, it was photo bombing me. That's what was happening. It was like YouTube and bombing me. I don't like it. So it's like, it may have made it in like 4 videos, but it's not because I used it. It's because the guy that I would be helping thinks that that thing's necessary to do stuff. And it's not. That thing's trash. That thing's junk. That one specifically is junky trash. So stop telling people that I got a green lift. I don't got no green lift. I'm a boy. Alright? Alright, first channel. I'm going to keep up with comments though this week. Telling everyone. Don't do it. Alright, so I guess first channel we'll do is Buck and Billy Ray. So I think he put out another video. What was it? Oh shit. Okay, now I remember. My brain's all over the place. Okay. So earlier this week he put out a video where he was taking down a tree with an axe. Alright? So is that illegal? No. No, it's goofy. It's silly. But like, that's not illegal, so I can't say nothing about that. So he shows in the video, this is going to be the biggest tree I've ever taken down with an axe. And he walks us to the tree. He shows us it's a cedar tree. It's a dead cedar tree, and it is crispy. Been dead for a while. So he's kind of stoked in the video because apparently Root Rot Ronnie is the guy he's working for, and that guy's daughter is going to need this big section of the tree. She's going to do a carving or something like that out of it. Cool. Okay? So he's going to chop it down with his axe. Now, why would you do something like that? Well, it helps to show a product being used when you turn around and sell it for absurd amounts of money. Now, I don't know what you buy a vintage axe head for. I would hope for morale standards, they should cost $200 to $300 a piece for a vintage axe head. That something came across the bottom of my screen about doing a Q&A or something. That was weird. But I would hope, has anybody ever bought one? Anybody ever bought a vintage axe head off of the internet before? Because these axes are going $400 or $500. So I would hope the axe head on its own should cost a couple $100. I would think that's probably not the case. They're probably 20, 30 bucks. They may cost a little bit to ship because they're heavy, but I mean, so when you're going to turn around, you're going to take this thing, you're going to stick it on a handle, and upsell it by like an absurd amount. It's $500 for this axe. He goes outside and he uses them. So I guess that's the purpose for this video. Go outside, chop a tree down. That way, the axe maker can be crazy. Yeah, well, yeah, I've seen that a few times. The bits can go for a good amount of money. I could see that, but I've bought heads like, yeah, 20 bucks to 108. Yeah, okay. But I think a lot of times I'm seeing that people find these axe heads and send them to like Bucking. Like a lot of people gift them. I've seen the packages when they would come in and stuff, which is cool. But the absurd amount is crazy. But whatever, that is what it is. My focus isn't on him making a bunch of money selling axes. We're chopping down a tree, right? So I have to do this because you're a complete, utter fool. To walk up to a dead, crispy tree, and let's say, I don't even agree with banging wedges on a dead, crispy tree because it's got dead shit in it. It's going to fall out. It's going to break. But instead, he goes one further. It's like going up to a dead, crispy tree and just beating on it with the hammer side of the axe until something falls on your head. So I'm like, why is he doing this? This is goofy. But he does one better. He's like, hang on. No. You think I'm goofy? You think I'm old and senile? No. Hang on. I got one more. I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat on this dead tree, and I'm not going to wear a hard hat. And I'm like, this is insane. What the hell is this guy doing? I'm going to stand underneath this dead tree and beat the hell out of it with his axe. And recommend that other people do this. This is just goofy. So, I feel like the only reason a hard hat is even being worn by him when he climbs is maybe he's been made fun of and he wants to maybe fit in. Everyone else does. Well, everyone else, if they was chopping down trees with axes and they were dead, they would wear the hard hat then too. Just a quick heads up. If something dead falls out, which is pretty likely, let's say you just walked underneath the tree. Oh, on a job, dang, that's awesome. If you just walked underneath that tree, it's not that likely that even if it's dead, something's going to fall out and hit your head. But if you're going to take a hammer up to it and you're going to beat the piss out of it, the likeliness of something dead falling out is very high. I don't really care about if you're 106 years old and you can chop down a tree. I don't really care about that. I think you could, if you need to show off your axes, there's a better way to do it. All I said is, like, I left a comment. I normally don't do that because it gets ignored. So I figured out the kindest way to where you coddle him and hold his hand, but tell him that he's being unsafe. Every comment is acknowledged except for mine. And all I said was, if you're going to beat on the tree with a hammer / axe, maybe wear a hard hat. You wear it when you climb. And I think I worded it even nicer than that. Or when you're running the chainsaw. So, doesn't acknowledge it. And I have to go back because after he chops the tree with the axe and he falls it and gets it stuck. Then he goes and gets a chainsaw and proves, hold on, you thought I was wrong. I thought, well, maybe he's just being an idiot right now because he doesn't chop down trees all the time with an axe. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just that. No, it's not just that. He grabbed his chainsaw 5 minutes later, fired it up, and went up underneath the hung up tree and started cutting shit. Still with no hard hat. I don't, the people don't look into it deep enough. Like, I wish this guy would maybe be an example. If you want to make people happy and all this, if you want to do this dangerous stuff, people emulate the shit he does. There's so many people that do. And the people that just tell him that he's the greatest person in the world in the comments make it clear to me like they idolize him. And it's not like I'm jealous about that. I'm just saying the people follow this dude like it's a cult. Listen to his every word. So if you think that if you do something stupid, they're not then going to do it, you're stupid. So, just my opinion, chopping a dead tree down with an axe is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen on YouTube. And I believe old Buckin' Billy Ray, I mean, I guess he wins Wiener of the Week. Because that was stupid. That was absolutely stupid. If you would have wore a hard hat during it, I'd say, good for you, old timer. You went out there and got her done, chopped that tree down. To me, I think it's goofy, it's kind of silly, but I also am goofy and silly at times. I have a wood splitter, but I split it by hand. I get it. Like, I'm not downing you for that, but it's just, I don't know. I learned. Yeah, well, at times. Yeah, yeah, I'm not going to keep harping on it, but that was just, I just told him to stay safe, and I had to, like, edit my comment and be like, oops, my bad. I thought you wore a hard hat when you ran a chainsaw falling trees. You didn't. And I put a laughing face. It's his life. He can do whatever he wants. My worry is the reach he has and the repercussions from the silly shit he does. Like, what are other people going to do? Maybe he gets away with it. But if some younger hillbilly kid out there who idolizes Buckin' Billy Ray does the stupid stuff that Buckin' Billy Ray does and gets hurt or worse, what? All the be kind, that all goes out the window for me. If one person ends up getting hurt because they're like, you're backing silly shit when you know it's not right. So, yeah, I don't like that. So don't do that again. That was stupid. He put out another video, and I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, the one was the biggest tree that I've ever chopped down with an axe. He wears no PP. There was another video, though. I can't remember the name of the other video. I have so many silly-ass notes wrote down. But also, this is what I'm being told. This is the rumor on the internet. I've got a few leads. People have been really looking into this because it's a big deal. But according to the case we're building, Buckin' Billy Ray he plans on showing up to the TCIA Expo. While he's there, someone's going to teach him how to properly climb trees. They're going to make him a system that he can use to be tied in. Here's my problem with that. I call bullshit because you have all the stuff now. Do a taut line. Get tied in. Let's not be dumb and pretend like after going to the TCIA Expo, Buckin' Billy Ray's going to go home, have a throw ball cube, and start setting his lines from the ground. That's not happening. Sizemore is teaching there. There's a pretty good chance that maybe that's who he's gonna. Maybe Sizemore will walk around with him and help him put together a a setup. I don't really know. I don't know. How can? What do you need someone to? You have a rope, dude. That's his excuse. He wants an excuse for why he's ignorant now, why he's lazy now, why he's unsafe and kind of goofy. He needs an excuse. Well, the excuse is he's got this little prusik thing up, but this isn't idea, he says. Which no one knows what that really means. This isn't idea. It's better than what you normally use, so but the problem is he can go down about 10 foot and then he runs out of rope. So he'll repeatedly be climbing trees and say, "Up, shoop, shoop, I'm tied in twice now." No, you're not. You got a lanyard on that's wrapped around it 2 times. That doesn't mean you're tied in twice. Like, you don't have 2 separate connection points. You're connected twice with one thing. Like, and it's a lanyard, man. You can't get down. So he's all about moving the goalpost or twisting and bending the rules. That way he can kind of have a reason for why he's goofy. But apparently, at the expo, Buck and Billy Ray, after he goes to the expo, he's going to be on an amazing climbing system afterwards. And he's going to start tying in and climbing right. And I don't believe it. I don't believe any of it. But you know what? I hope, I pray that he goes to the expo. He apologizes to me when he sees me. Gives me the money for the sheriff axe handles that I deserve. Because, I mean, come on. Then gets a climbing system. Actually, the truth, you guys want to know what the real story is? I'm gonna choose his climbing system. Wouldn't that be crazy? He just wants me to, and I fixed him. I could fix him. But I don't know. Right now, I'm blaming Sizemore. If he doesn't come back, though, it's all Sizemore's fault. He somehow cracked the code that is Buck and Billy Ray's stubbornness. So come on, Sizemore, make this guy be safe. That's all anybody wants. Like, everybody can say that I'm mean and I'm picking and I've got something wrong with me and I'm hateful. I don't care how you look at any of it. The truth of the matter is his safety. It was my concern always, or the safety of the people that are emulating him. It isn't me being mean. It isn't me picking on the old guy. It is what it is. Like, I don't know. I just gets on my nerves. I had to watch him do a climbing video in rigging, and he's always repeating something. Like, he knows a few things, and he's like, "You see that right there? That one-handed close hitch. One-handed close hitch." And he'll say it every single time. And he'll be goofy, and he'll say, "These little water spots," I like to call, I call them epicormic. No, holy shit, how narcissistic. What you mean to say is the proper term is epicormic growth. It isn't something you made up. It's something you heard someone else say, and you emulated it. But when he tells it, he likes to call it epicormic growth. Like he came up with it, you know? And it's just, that stuff makes my stomach turn. I'm not a fan. I don't know. I question if he's able to be safer and do things the right way. I don't know if he can. Like, he may be a lost cause. I don't know. Okay, I have down here. He reminds me of my town's Motor Mike. Okay, And let me explain this. So we have this guy in my town. We call him Motor Mike, and he rides a 10 speed. Okay, listen to this shit. This gets crazy. Okay, so his name's Motor Mike, and he rides a 10 speed. Okay, and he makes motor noises when he does it, and you can hear him. Like he'll pull up, and when he starts it and everything, he's not all there. I like him. I've always liked him. Got a kick out of him. The guy's probably got the fattest calves out of anybody in Missouri. And he'll also keep up with your car on the highway. That's how fast he'll ride a 10 speed. He's crazy. This is what he does, though. You don't get a name like Motor Mike if you don't do this kind of crazy stuff, all right? So when we were kids, he was younger then. He was in his late 20s, and I was a kid, and he would come up, and we'd be like, Mike, show us how fast you can go, and he'd, shift his gears and stuff, and he would be funny. He was dead serious, but he'd be like, act like his starter went out, and he would have the noises down. Like, he was so good at sound effects. He would, like, have the noises down. Well, as cool as Mike is, Motor Mike was put in the ER at one point. I swear to God, this is all true. He was in he was in the ER at one point because he drank motor oil. He believed the bit so much that like he was at a gas station and drank motor oil because he felt like he was such a car. That's how not there this guy is. I think Billy he's like the Motor Mike of YouTube. There's no humbleness to him. It's just like he knows best. I know all you other normal humans think drinking motor oil isn't good for you. But I'm gonna drink it. Because I'm special. So, that was my weird way of saying, like, come on, Billy, don't drink any more oil. Just chill out. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but it's not the guy you need to be taking your life lessons from at times. Like, just my personal opinion. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's an old guy thing. Next channel. All right. Let me check a few comments. Dude, I know. Like he's Shaklank. He's that guy. Shaklank. What up, Lim Reaper? We're really just kind of getting into it. We didn't start until a little late, but my family was worried because I was addicted to brake fluid, and I told them I could stop at any time. I like that. That's good stuff. Yeah, back that. That's pretty sick. Okay, but I think that's all I really got for bucking. Sometimes I'm like, do I just sit here and watch the car crash happen? Just because it's a nice car crash that no one cusses when it happens and like everyone's pretty nice doesn't mean that it's not a car crash ready to happen. Like, you know what I mean? John Bob's crazy with his jokes. Yeah, I have two. Power steering fluid, transmission fluid. I've used it all. So, whatever's in the truck, damn it. Okay. Guilty of treason. I guess I should be putting down a timestamp for him. This is the worst live feed that I'm going to do as far as, like, structure. I'm not doing it this time. I'm doing good to get through this. But, guilty of treason. Put out a video called This Saw Sucks. Trying the worst reviewed chainsaw on Amazon. He spelled the word reviewed wrong. I would also like to say Tim spelt his title wrong also. Luckily, he went back and finally changed it. But come on now, you guys are tubing too hard. You don't read your own damn title? Like, you don't read your own damn title? You're the one that spelled it. You're the one that put it on there. And you don't look at it? No Astroglide. No. I used it elsewhere. It's crazy. When you siphon gas, and get some in your mouth. I kind of like it. I've had that happen a lot. Like, I don't know how other people are so good at like siphoning gas. I've siphoned so much gas in my life. Mainly is when I got out of my later teens. I probably didn't do it as much. I did it a lot around that time. I was always taking gas from one vehicle to the next. But forgot what I was talking about. Facts. Yeah, dude, that's all I speak. Dude, if I say it, it's real. Like, I don't get up here and like tell stories and jokes and like everything's real. It's always facts. Allegedly. Yeah, that's a good recommendation, Babylon. Jeez, you grandma, that's ridiculous. Alright, so Guilty put out that video, spelled his shit wrong, and I'm like, spell it right. Alright? That's what I got to say to that. He bought himself a $269 Holtz Pharma 070 clone with a 6-foot bar. Instantly, you want to know what I thought? Think about this. I want you to think about this first. And if you know me, most of you probably know what I was thinking instantly. But he paid $269 for a Holtz Pharma 070 clone with a 6-foot bar. What do you think my first thought was? I mean, it's simple. Should have bought a Noker. I mean, right? Right? I'm sure Steve's here in the comments, or he's gonna watch it later. I think for the first time ever in life, I'm being 100% honest. I think he should have bought a Noker first before this, because this saw was the biggest hunk of trash I've ever seen. It looked good. It started. Sounded like it ran good. But under workload, it did nothing. Like, it did nothing. The grape addictive is awesome. 72-inch bar on my 3120. I stop at 59. Oh, badass. Yeah, so, yeah, that 6-foot bar on that saw, he would rev the saw out really good, get it running, top chain speed, go to set it down onto the cut, and it would instantly go brrr, and it would lock up. It, like, under workload, it absolutely shut the saw down. So he tried it over and over, wouldn't work. So he ends up switching, putting a smaller bar on the saw, thinking that 6-foot bar is too much for it. It's the one that actually came with the saw, which is crazy because if you think about it, I think like a 6-foot bar, hell, it may cost $269 for a good 6-foot bar. You know, certain ones, I wouldn't doubt it. With the price of everything else, you're going to pay fucking $800 for an axe, $500 for an axe, so you pay $269 for a good chainsaw bar, a good blade, you know? Is that what they're, I think that's what they're called. You can call it, some people call it bars, but I think you're supposed to call them blades. So it's got a 6-foot blade. The blade's trash. It don't want to work. Um, so he can't really figure out what's going on with it. He even switches to that smaller bar and it does the same thing. Randy uses it. Same thing. Turns out to be a complete waste. But it makes me carry two retriever. It's not a blade. What? Since when? Since when? I think it's a blade. Pretty sure that's what the correct term for it. I mean, I've been doing tree work for almost 30 years, running chainsaws. You'd think I would know. I don't know about that. I think it's a blade. I think it's a blade. It's like a knife, you know what I mean? I'm just kidding, okay? For anybody that is trying to convince me that it's a bar and chain, I know it's a bar and chain. Fucking Daniel Murphy texted me telling me that I was wrong, and in one of the videos he caught me where I called it a blade. Brother, I do that to troll, and just because I keep a straight face doing it doesn't mean that, like, I think I lost subscribers on my last YouTube short where I ended it saying I was awesome. I just want to end this video saying I'm awesome. I think people think I'm serious. Like, you know, if we're talking best, I'll be straight up with you. It's me. But like, I'm not the awesomest always. Let's do it. I'll back that Limp Reaper. The blade from now on. We wouldn't that be nice? We switched it right now. They're coming from somebody. Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure it's a blade. I heard it from Buckin. I think Buckin told me it's a blade, and he would know, brother. Not only do I have a sticker, I have a t-shirt, and I have other stickers. I even have a hard hat of Buckin' Billy Ray. And you know how I got this stuff? It was sent to me by my friend Buckin' Billy Ray. I didn't buy this stuff. Okay? You understand me? Don't laugh at me. I look good in this. So, he sent me this. Okay? I didn't buy it. He was like, yo, bro, you would look sick in my stuff. And I was like, yeah, I look sick in everything. But, what's up? He's like, you want some stuff? And I was like, I guess, yeah, sure. So he sent me some stuff. And, yeah. I got stickers. He was like, begged me to put them on my hard hats. He's like, please, and call it a blade. Please call it a blade. I'm like, all right, man, chill out. Give me the money for the sheriff handle. So this saw that Jacob bought, like, I don't think you should have did that. I think you should send it back right now. But some people in the comments said that they had a similar, so they bought a similar saw, one of those 070 clones, and that the fuel vent tube is too long, and if you trim a little bit off of it, it gives it that low end for some reason, where it loses it. I don't really know. It don't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm not a real mechanic-y guy, but yeah, I don't know. And then Jacob's talking, and he says, like, he's had mixed results with those Holtz Pharma saws, you know? And he's like, sometimes they're not bad. And I think the only other one that I remember of him doing the Holtz Pharma, like the actual Holtz Pharma, is that blue one, which was which I think was an 066 clone. And I thought he had Gordy work on that saw. I may be wrong, but I think he had Gordy do some stuff to that 066 before he used it. And in that video, that saw did rip. I think my brother seen that video, and he bought one of them too. and my brother's run's good. I ran it in a few videos. Um, so I don't know. I think the 070, 090 thing is just such an old heavy saw. I've never really seen any of them that really have the power to. They all seem to run real weird and weak like that. But yeah, Jacob bought it. Thought it was gonna make a good YouTube video. I have to hit him with a simple brother. When you just simply waste $269 for no reason, you sir, you're tubing too hard. Okay? You're tubing too hard if you're just ready and willing to give up $269 for the sake of a video. So I don't like that. You could just send that $269 to me, and he still hasn't paid me for something else. I don't even remember. He told me the check was going to be in the mail. It never showed up. So I don't know about that trimming something off of the fuel tank vent. But that's what people in the comments were saying. One of the dudes walks up to him and is like, I bought a couple of those saws because I seen your video. And I'm sure Holtz Farmer probably sold a shitload of them saws after that video. But I think in that video he says Gordy worked on it. Which is funny because everybody's buying them thinking it's going to be an amazing saw. If I'm being honest, my brother's ran pretty good. Like, and his has got like a 3-foot bar on it, and it ran pretty good. It don't run like my 066, but it was pretty good. The other day my 200T cut out too. It wouldn't stay going. It would run really good and then just fall on its face. But I think hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a plug issue. But I think I just put a new plug in it, so I don't know. Maybe it's fuel line. Who knows? I had to do some fence repairs. Shit happens. Oh no. The free fence. Yeah, I like that. The fence removal is free. So I feel like he ripped us off this week. Not only is he tubing too hard, Jacob, this video sucked. I'm sorry, but it sucked. It was not a good video. It was just you playing with this junk saw that didn't work. Then you just did nothing. He was talking about how I guess he was cleaning this lot up, because that's where Sappy Supplies was at. Now Sappy Supplies is shut down. Stuff about they're moving everything to his house now, so they were getting rid of a bunch of wood. Then he went randomly at the very end and cut down a cottonwood tree. I think it was cottonwood, with his 088 or his 880. So yeah, he did that. He got super lucky taking the face cut out. It actually lined up for the first time ever. I think first time he's ever lined a face cut up perfect, and it happened. And you know, that dude could fall in shit, come out smelling like a rose. I think he's just got that kind of luck. But yeah, he got lucky. Did a good face cut for once, and was like, "Check me out." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was luck." But yeah, he felled the tree. Used a real saw, which was nice. I also wanted to say if any of you have, I mean, and maybe I'm late to the show, but I mean, at least I'm doing it now. If you have any like you need arborist supply stuff, go to Sappy Supplies. I like Jacob, and that's not funny. But yeah, the video was lame, man. It was lame. I didn't like it. Do some tree work, make some videos. upload them. I need something to watch. Yeah, I don't like that. You somehow almost outlamed Buck and Billy Ray, but not quite. But yeah, that's all I got for Jacob. Learn how to spell. I don't like that. I don't like that you don't know how to spell. I don't really like that, but I'm plenty deep. What the fuck? There's a sus conversation in those comments there. You gotta check and you guys watch yourselves. All right. So who do we have next? Oasis Tree. Oasis Tree. I believe the username for this channel is Your Outdoor Oasis. Damn, I need to figure out homie's name. I forgot again. I'll look back at my notes because I know his name. I have to call him Oasis for now, but that's deep. That's crazy. Oh my god. Hey, what's your first name? I forgot. Isn't it like Jesus? Damn it, I can't remember it. Justin? No, it's not Justin. Derek. See, I knew it was like a regular name. You got a lame regular name like me, Mike. All right. Oasis Tree. The video is called Lightning Hit This Maple. Now it's our problem. There's like a dash in there, which makes me feel like it's two titles, which makes me want to hit the alarm and ticket. You know, like hit the alarm and then write the citation. But I'm gonna let you off the hook this time. That's almost not right. You get one sentence. That's how the titles go. That's kind of one sentence. Lightning hit this tree. You could have just used an and mark, and now it's our problem. But instead, you tried to double title it. Lightning hit this tree, dash. Now it's our problem. That's not proper English, sir. And not only am I the YouTube police, at times I have been known to be the grammar police. So, actually, that's like 3 times in this one. I feel lame. So, I mean, it's this awkward for me because that I'm sure that's the Kimbo 2 is brand new, right? You just got it. When ChatGPT for the title, it comes up with all. That's wild. Yeah, I ain't letting ChatGPT can suck it. That's what ChatGPT can do. I'm not trying to be artificial. I'm trying to be me. So that's an interesting climbing device. I'm sure, you bought it because it's new. Everyone was telling you they're coming out with the new akimbo, which is crazy. Everyone did this. Everyone talked about how they're coming out with a new akimbo, but they didn't finish the sentence, which is weird. It's kind of rude to everyone that ended up buying them because no one really knew. They're coming out with the new akimbo for women. That's the most proper way you could have said that, Luke. I think you may be an English major. My English could be so. If you could make it much more better, I mean, why not? So that device is for the ladies. Okay, it's purple for a reason. They made it purple because it's pretty. Women deserve to have their own device, just like the guys got theirs, So, but I mean, if you like it, you like it. You can't. I mean, if you wanted to wear, women's underwear. I wouldn't even know. You could be in your saddle. I wouldn't know you had them on. The problem is with this device, it's like right in front of you, and I see it, and I'm like, that's interesting. Um, Wonder if he knows that he bought the one for girls because it's purple. But yeah, it's first. I'm sure eventually, as I watch more and more on YouTube, those things get sold more and more. I'm sure there'll be more boys that use the purple one. It's a beautiful shade of purple though. I back it 100%. It's a beautiful shade. Until next week's video, if you got me a purple. Yeah. Yeah, brother, go with it. Go with it. I back it. All right. So yeah, if you got yourself a pink chainsaw lanyard, I don't even need to read your comment. I know what saw's getting attached to it, and it's the Milwaukee battery saw. You can take the chainsaw lanyard, reach straight into your wife's purse, hook onto it, and dude, get her done. You know what I mean? It's good after that. So yeah, but you can use whatever device you want, But so at about 13 minutes into the video, he's doing, I think it may be a maple tree. I can't really remember. I didn't write it down, but he is right next to the wires and stuff. The residential wires are kind of trailing up underneath to where some of the stuff's overhanging, and does some pretty good rigging. Like, wasn't bad. Um, at about 13 minutes, there was an excessively big rig that didn't need to be that big. And it went end over when it was supposed to be tip tied. Which is sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. Now, tip tying is tricky because you want to be far enough out that you take all the majority of the weight. Like, I usually look for about 2/3 of the weight and have it below it to where you have command of about 1/3 of the weight. When you start dealing with foliage up in the tree, it gets tricky trying to judge that weight and split it up. That way the piece stays butt heavy and comes off stationary as opposed to flipping. Luckily, the piece did get over enough and got up out. When it did go end over, it was away from the line. You could have done it in a couple. It would have been probably smoother, nicer than that one. But at the same time, I wanted to be like, a few times you're rigging when it's not needed, but that's okay. I'm gonna back that. I think even when you're trying to get good at it, use those opportunities. You got a rigging set up, and to do a few limbs, maybe you do say you only need to rig out 2 limbs, but you would like to get some practice and try a few things. That's the perfect opportunity to use that setup and rig a few extra limbs out to get that guy that's running the ropes practice and to give you practice. And you can kind of try some things in there. That way the risk reward isn't so off, There's no sense in trying to learn a technique when you're over the top of someone's home when you can do it in kind of a safe space. So I back just practice rigging at times. A lot of times when I set up a rigging setup, I will do a practice rig, and maybe it doesn't even need to be rigged, but I will rig it because I want to judge the weight on these pieces and the way it's going to respond. Also, I want to know exactly where I am lowering to. Where is it going to hit? And sometimes it helps to do a branch, give your guy a weight check on it, and yeah, so I'm not complaining about maybe some of the pieces could have been free fell and they were rigged. I back that. You got to get some practice where you can get it. One thing I would say, if you're using a steel carabiner, make sure as you hook that piece up that you don't hook it up where the rope is going to go across the gate. If it's going to do end over, you want to have that rope going against the spine of the carabiner. That's the only way that, well, most of the time that it's going to end up failing is if it was to get crossed up, go across that gate. That's the failure point, especially on those big metal carabiners. So I would watch out for that. Just try to hook up with it when the piece goes, because when you hook it up this way and the piece is going to go over, you want the gate upward. But it doesn't seem correct when you're hooking it up. But you got to think the piece is going to flip and be upside down. Other times you hooked it up right. There was one for sure that I noticed that I was like, oh shit, he's got to watch out for that. Other than that, it seemed okay to me. So at about 18 minutes, here's where my issue comes in. At about 18 minutes, Derek, you hook up to a branch and you're about to rig it. And as I looked at it and the way it was set up, I thought, that looks like that could go across this climb line. That's sketchy. I would hook that up different. Then the video stops. It shows it getting hooked up. It just stops. And then it goes to fall on the log. Now, if that one clip would have been left out of the video, because there's no need to show you hooking the limb up if you're not going to cut it. Because when I see that, all I think is that limb did exactly what I thought it was going to do, went across this line, and he doesn't want to put it in the video. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just telling you what my instincts say when I see that. Like, you showed it getting hooked up, but nothing after that. And then there was still enough footage and video to record falling the tree, though. So, like, but I do know there are mistakes with the GoPros. They goof up sometimes. But I have a little part of me that thinks that limb did not go correctly. And that's the reason it wasn't in the video. I'm pretty good at this. Okay? Ask Tim. I feel like I've gotten Tim a few times, too. So, I meant to cut it out, but I remember correctly. I recognize it too. I fixed the issue. That's the bag. Right on. I like using steel carabiners during rigging out. That's always enough. That's 50-50. Yeah, I do enjoy carabiner. And where I ran into issues is where I get into slick bark stuff or things that are too small with the carabiner. And the fear of side loading that carabiner, it would get in a bind, it would get sideways, it'd go across the gate. I have locking carabiners, but that's why I switched to using the straps, because you can throw a strap around it real quick and lock it in. It's going to be much more cinched up, plus it's going to be locked in and never be able to be side loaded. So I noticed that Kevin Ham wants to be like me too, so he does the same way. I think he's probably copying me because, he's just a young upstart, and he sees a guy like me, a tethered and leathered veteran, and he's like, I want to be like that guy. So I think I'm where he got it from. But yeah, that's my favorite way to rig, and the cinch up on those speedline straps is so much nicer and more consistent than throwing the carabiner around and clipping on. So, plus you can get them quick and you can hook up multiple ones. But if I ever edit a mistake out, it's only because I know the customer is going to watch the video. Right on. No, I think it wasn't like something getting edited out. I don't even remember what it was. It was something that maybe didn't make it in the video or something, or didn't get filmed. I don't remember. It's just one of them times, one of those many, many, many times where I was right. You guys, you know how it is. Oh, so I was watching you while you were doing the rest of the tree. Um, you said at the end you did an outro. You said a few of the limbs tickled the service lines. Um, Here's a word of advice: like maybe a few redirects would come in handy and help out. A small pulley or something. Don't be a victim to a singular rigging point. Um, that's where things get sketchy. I'm gonna show a little trick that I use on rigging to get that perfect lowering point, but like it looked like maybe a few times you could eliminate the crazy swing on the piece by running a redirect right there next to the piece. Actually, seen I think I seen Tim in his video use one just this week. So like, don't end up being a victim to a singular lowering point that you've decided. Like you've picked it. You don't have to always lower from that point. It's safer and quicker a lot of times to share the load around in the tree and have a quick redirect that you can. It also brings the rope back right back to you. So like there's advantages to that. And so advice for this one, I would say don't be a victim to like a singular rigging point. It can, especially in these wide spread out trees, that you seem to be working in, kind of like me. So I do love using slings. Also definitely. Yeah, it makes it real nice when you're self rigging, doesn't it, Lim? Um, but yeah, not bad this week, Derek. I think it was pretty good, brother. Keep it up. I'll be watching. So next YouTube channel is JLM Tree Service. His title to his video is Tree Climber vs. Crispy Dead Elm. Here's this dash again. Everybody's doing the dash. Stop. What are you dashing for? Deadly tree removal. What? Deadly, dead. I love how people don't take advice. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. I've said it a billion times. There are trigger words to where YouTube will not put your stuff into the algorithm. And using the word dead repeatedly is not going to serve you well. Just a heads up. They're all deadly. Like, and that's the best when you get the video that says the deadliest tree I've ever did. Like, okay. And then you see it maybe 8 months later, the deadliest tree I've ever did. The deadliest tree I've ever did. God dog, man, this is never gonna end. See about you join. I'll put you this part on it. Right on. Okay, so here's his video. He calls them deadly trees. Like, I'm sorry, but they looked healthy to me. I don't even know if these trees were dead. He thinks they are. They looked healthy to me. And I would like to say, if you think it was lies and slander before, you have no clue. Those trees were perfectly fine. They were really small, extremely safe, in a wide open area. There was like there was it was super simple. Um, I would like to say that I don't like that there's lies being spread about me in his comment section by him. So yeah, don't do that. And at one point in the video, he admits to being too scared to go out on the ends of these elm limbs, which is weird because, like I said, the tree looks healthy. Just go out there. And he's like, he's scared or something like that. And I'm like, that's interesting. I've never been that. But, so he's taking these tops and he tries to smash this trailer. And he basically fails to fail. So, like, I'm writing a ticket for that. I don't like that. You get an opportunity to smash something. and you're not even good enough to smash it. Like, you didn't smash it. The guy said that you could smash this. If the guy said you could smash it, I would have smashed that thing. Okay? One time in my life, someone has said I could smash something. Well, my wife, that's two. So, okay. So, a shed. Okay, I'm going to be specific. And I smashed the shit out of that thing. Okay? I smashed it real good. I smashed it real good. So, no, those people didn't say that I could smash their fences. But, I mean, they did. I did smash some fences. But no one told me I could. I did that on my own accord. And paid for it. But, you know, when someone tells you you can smash something, you smash that damn thing. And you smash it real good. You don't not smash it like he did. So, fails to fail. I don't like that. But nice to see that his spirits seem to be back up. Kind of went through some tough times here lately, so it's nice to see him back at it. Seems like his spirits are back up. He's back to being the cringy YouTuber that he was before. But I mean, if that's what you like, if that's what you want to be, and that's what makes you happy, like, I'm all for it. Get her done, man. Cringe away, brother. What's up, YouTube? Okay. If you're finished Friday. Okay. I'm like scrolling through, I'm scrolling through my shit, and I'm like, whoa. Does that say? No, that's Dano. Last week I was like, we need more Dano. Someone heard me. The prayers were answered. You get this 40-minute Dano video, and I'm like, this is fire. I mean, it is. So yeah, Dano Tree Works. That's Dano Tree Works, and then I wonder if it's hard to find you because then Dano has the axe emoji after Tree Works, but maybe it pulls them up if they search for you. I'll have to find your username if it's different and start saying it too, but because you're gonna start posting videos on the regular, and I'm gonna watch them. It's gonna be sick. So the video is called Hog Lead Hanging Over the House with No Crane. I fixed it for you. I didn't say ... no crane. With no crane. That's what he meant to put because he doesn't break the rules. He knows what the rules are. He's a deputy. He wouldn't make two sentences. He does one sentence. He knows how to do things right. So, in the video, he's got this gnarly top that kind of broke out. It's hanging over the home. It was straight fire, too. It was a good one. So he walks up on this, and big old lead hanging out over the house. Dano, being the man, cuts no corners, covers all bases, and does like a correct, complete setup for a sketchy ass breakup. Like, I'm watching. It's nice to see someone that you're so like-minded with that as I'm watching it, he's doing the things that I would do. Where normally I'd be like, oh shit, I would try this. Now he's doing the stuff that I would do. I feel like our minds kind of work very alike. His rigging setups are very similar, where he's always looking to get the max out of the tree. And so he uses two separate trees to get this lead that's like hung on top of, it's like balanced on a palm tree over a house, and hooks up the butt end to one tree, hooks up the tips to a different tree, does some pretty gnarly climbing in it, some rope walking. His ascents are recorded. Yeah, no spikes, even though 99.9% of guys would have justified using spikes because it's an emergency, and this sets everything up the right way. And like, you can see the problem solving happening just firing quickly and thinking on the fly. And you can just see when a guy has done this so long, he's been put in so many shitty situations and sketchy situations that you almost have that answer every time. You always have the answer stored away. It's always right there. And it's fun to watch. It really is. Setting up a rigging setup and doing it correctly to go with the tree to get the max instead of having a shitload of negative space. I hate when I see rigging setups where guys have all this negative space and they start side loading the trees or the rigging points. I just don't. It's hard on the rigging. It's harder on the tree. Therefore it's more sketchy for the climber. But it was just a very methodical, deliberate removal of a humongous lead, and multiple things went wrong, while at the same time nothing went wrong. It all went smooth. So check the video out. It was really good. That's hog lead hanging over a house with no crane. Dano Tree Works. Probably one of my favorite videos this week that I've watched. So shout out to Dano. I would love to see more of it. Film us some videos, Dano. We need some entertainment. So. Alright, so, there's this guy on YouTube. His name's Daniel Murphy, okay? I think from what I'm hearing, him and Tim are supposed to be partnering up, or they were getting together, or they were going to be. They like each other now. This is what I'm hearing. I think they're friends. Basically, what would I call myself? Like I just connected the two of them. Okay, what up, Nate? And now, like, I think they're friends. I think they're buddies. From what? Oh shit. Okay, maybe not. But the Murph, if you don't know, he's kind of the man. All right. Tim knows this. Tim knows that the Murph dog, he is the man. All right. He's always been the man. He's always going to be the man. He was the first man to ever make a video on YouTube. He puts out a video, the Murph dog. That's what I'm talking about. The Murph dog. He says, make every tree as easy as possible. And I'm like, what's this guy talking about? And so I go to watch it, and I'm like, he did the same thing he always does. He missed the mark. He fell a tree. He don't know how to hit the mark. He always misses. So first tree, and he's like, that one. He got all these excuses. Something about a buttress and someone yanked on his root or something. And I'm like, I don't like none of this, Daniel. I don't even know what this means. He's like, yeah, this thing yanked on my root from the buttress from the back. Hang on, I got mixed up. Yanked on my. It's too fat from the buttress. He had some excuses. Maybe I got it mixed up. But he said he felled the tree and it didn't go where it was supposed to, and there was some excuses of why it happened. Something about too low and too fat and his roots and buttresses. I don't know. You got to go ask Daniel. I just was like, bro, that's what happens every time I watch the video. You didn't, it didn't go where it was supposed to. So, then he's going to show us another tree. He's like, I'm not going to make that mistake again because, you know, he's a younger startup guy and he's learning. He's learning along the way as he goes. He didn't know about buttresses and flares and roots and making low stumps and but he's trying. Daniel's type of guy when it comes to pulling over a tree, okay? He likes there's two types of guys when it comes to pulling over trees, all right? There's those guys that like power and you know like strength for their control to pull a tree over. Then there's those guys that prefer precision and sometimes elaborate planning to make sure that you get the pullover to be correct. I don't like to be the guy that depends on power to have control um, because I've had trees be ripped the wrong way because of a truck pulling too hard or a bobcat snapping the rope or I'm not a fan of the power for control. I'm more of the precision for control. If everything is set up correct, rope angles are correct, pulling even a heavy backleaner over is very smooth and methodical if set up correctly. Some guys just put a rope in it and yank on it with every bit of fucking power, pulling power that they got. That's Daniel. Daniel will leave a fucking fat hinge about like the tree's only this big, his hinge is this big, and he'll pull a tree over. But yeah, I was like, I'm different. I don't like having all that pulling power to where like barber chair is possible, and I don't know. But I'm also not the Murph dog, you know. So he says he's going to do a second tree, and he says he's going to hit his mark on this one, and I was like, that would be cool to see him actually do it. So turns out he actually did hit his mark on the second tree. The tree went where it was supposed to go. It hit the spot. So I'd like to celebrate Daniel, and I think everyone should give him a little round of applause. He hit the mark with the tree. He's he's doing it. He's doing it. He had his blade all up in there, and he was cutting it real good. Probably had Crocs on. You know what I mean? And he was getting it, but he hit the mark. This time he hit the mark. But the part I didn't like is at the end of the video, he turned into Kevin Ham from Guilty of Trees, or Treason, or Game of Trees. Yeah, I swear he just wants to be Jacob. So Kevin Ham from Game of Trees. And the cringiest thing, the thing I hate the most is when that guy says, it's this game of trees and we're having fun. I don't like that. I don't like that he's having fun. I don't like that saying. Daniel turned into him at the end. He's like, this is a Murph dog and we're having fun. And I'm like, I don't like that. Daniel, I don't know if he's got like the people he idolizes are all cringy dinosaur mode. So he's like, I'm gonna be cringy dinosaur. You got Kevin Ham. You got Buck and Billy Ray. Daniel also idolizes me, big time. Like he tells me this. He sends me messages late at night all the time. I mean, he just wanted to know, tell you how you're a great person. I want to be just like you. And I'm like, listen, Murph dog, you're good the way you are, man. You don't need to be like me. You can't really be like me anyway. But don't put that stress on yourself. I have to say the same thing to Tim and stuff. You're good the way you are, brother. Don't change. Okay. So that's all I got for the Murph dog. He's gonna message me later and cuss me, but it's okay. We're still we're still gonna be buddies. So facts, Luke. Okay. So okay, Tim, Veterans Tree Service. This guy, he puts out this video, tree cracks in half within me still in it. Wasn't the original title something like that? Wasn't it tree? I didn't write down the original one. I was like, idiot, is all I said. And then I was like, I should have wrote it down because I didn't. And now it's fixed. Someone told him. But, yeah, it was something lame like that. I know it was. In me cracks and tree inside of me. Someone cracked their tree inside me. Yeah, dude. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't. I don't even like that for you. I think. Yeah, let's not talk about that. So he's doing this. Okay, At least it wasn't a little tree. You know, he brought shame to all of us last week in this little baby tree, and I was like, you can do better. But last week he made up for it. This week he climbed a real tree. It's an actual it's tree. His fat ass broke the tree. Apparently it cracked with him in it. Apparently, and the funny part is he's a skinny guy, but he's got a fat head. That's what it is. He's got a big fat head, and half his body weight is in his head. And don't say something stupid like the one on your shoulders is the one I'm talking about. Don't be gay and lame. I don't like that. But yeah, he's got a fat head. But he tried to do some tree cutting. He's in this it's a tree. He's got a bunch of trees he's got to do. He set up some rigging. And here's one thing I would like to bring up. Now, I noticed with your rigging, I got enough attention on YouTube. Yeah, you do. Here's a little trick I want to show you. Well, just everybody in general. This is something I don't see get talked about much, but it's a really, really handy trick, and I don't have times for like too often where this is really useful. Hang on, let me get a little bit more light. But something I did a long time ago, and I'll try to find some of the footage of it, but you'll find at times you'll get yourself way out on a rig where it's way out on a limb or something, and you got your rigging point, and the problem is, let's say we're rigging off of this little stub tree over here, you know. Just all in case. Oh shit, my bad. There you go. So let's say we're rigging off of this little tree here. Okay. The problem with that is that's the lowering point, lowers it down onto something that is the ground guy's got to fight. So then you got another stem over from it, okay? So let's say we have this stem. And the same problem is with this stem, is that when you lower it straight down, it's going to put it in the wrong location. So rigging point's over at this one over here, but we would like to have like an in-between point. So you ended up setting this setup up when you're up in the tree and using it, and it worked good. but you did it with like the Porter wrap. But I used to have a really long lanyard, and I used it only for, like, I used to call it like a fall away redirect. So if I'm doing this piece here and I wanted like a floating redirect, and like I wanted the in between of these two, I wouldn't put a little strap here and lower it straight down as a redirect off of it, but I would use it as a redirect, and say I would set it up like, this, and what I had was like just a big old school lanyard that was adjustable, and I could adjust it out to whatever length I needed. I would hook it up here, and then let's say this has like a steel carabiner or even a pulley or a ring, and that's what that is. So the rigging rope, I would run it over, and we would rig a big chunk off this top, to pull it over. I would run it through this, clip it on, and what that's going to do is it's going to want to go back to the second, or to the original rigging point, but this is going to stop it, and it's going to give you that exact lowering point. A normal redirect isn't going to do that. Usually they're meant to be close, but having those adjustable slings and stuff, you can use this trick as like a drift away redirect, and it's going to give you that in between. And having like a big version of an adjustable lanyard is really, really nice. The way I set mine up was 2 real big steel clips, and I just made one out of some like I don't know, some 5/8 rope, and I can't remember how exactly. Oh yeah, you just take it, set it up with a taut line or like a Blake's hitch in the middle, and then normally you have like your clip on each end. So this would be a clip here, and then this would have a clip here, and you could adjust that out to whatever short length you need or whatever long length you need, depending on whatever spot you were at. And that ended up saving me big time. I was working at taking a big, I think it was an oak tree over the top of an AmeriGas storage place where they had a whole bunch of those propane gas tanks, and I was right over the top of them. So the redirect is actually extended out between the two stems. Yeah, 100 exactly. And it ends up working like a floating redirect. You're sending it back to that location, but you're getting the in between. And that's why the example of it being like this works really good, because it's easier to kind of see when it's hooked up. If I had 2 clips here, it would be much easier to kind of see it being used. But pretend like there's a clip here and there's a clip on, and this is a clip. So you would just take it around, clip it on, and then you could adjust this out to however far, if you needed it in, or if you adjust it out this way, it goes really far. So I'll try to find that maybe one day. It's a humongous lanyard with these big massive metal clips on it. And it pulled me literally out of a pinch on one of the gnarliest jobs. And I was really young into my climbing at that time. But I had just bought a new lanyard. So, because the old one got cut and I had the clips and I started messing with it, and I was like, how can I get that rigging point in between that I really would like? That perfect lowering point. And that's one of them things I've always messed with to try to, there has to be a way, even though there's nothing there to actually rig from, there has to be a way to be able to utilize that area how can I utilize that when there's nothing there? Well, you could like extend a rope out and support it between a bunch, but that way, clipping right below it, just like you did with your porter wrap, Tim, how you just moved it down, you're doing that same thing. And you're extending that lanyard or redirect to different lengths because, like, say, as that piece comes down, it gets closer to over here, and you could shorten it to where it's always going to the right spot. An easy way to do that is just like adjust it out, have like let the rope dangle. And the nice part is you can reach up and grab that and pull the rope back to you too. You get the benefits of using a redirect. Yeah, yeah. Each stem then now supports a portion of the weight. You're using that one and this one in unison to share the load to give you the correct lowering point. It's a very, very simple, almost silly simple concept that, like, there's so many times that when I think back, and there's even been times since where that was the answer, but my brain just doesn't. You don't really think about, I should use that floating space right there, that wide open space. Like, how do you do that? Well, if I have something to stand on and I'm out there cutting off something, I then could use it. So to bring it back, the best part is we were trying to limit when I was swinging them pieces. The pieces were swinging so far, it took forever before they finally calmed down enough so they could be lowered correctly. Not with that. That slowed that. And then it kind of would kind of jar the two pieces together. But let me see. Oh, I hate this dry erase board. Never wants to work right. I wonder if the blue works. Yes, the blue works. Okay. So here we go, Oasis. So say you're rigging off of this one, and every time you're lowering, it's going right here, and it's lowering like down onto like a little tree, or there's like a house there, and say the spot maybe that you wanted as you're rigging this stuff off, it's swinging all the way, is actually in here. So you can take that rope that's running up here, runs up to your rigging point, bring it over, hook the piece up, okay? So say we have this one coming off of it. Now, if you attached a little lanyard or a redirect that's however long, say you want this distance, you just need a redirect that goes around this and stretches over to here. So what happens is when this piece comes off, instead of it swinging all the way over here and going back and forth and all crazy, this thing, this strap is actually loose. It's dangling until you cut this. And as you cut it, it swings over. The rope ends up being like this. And the piece gets lowered down. Okay? And that's because this one finally tightens up. So now you're sharing the load because of this strap. You're sharing the load between this one and this one. And the likeliness of just rigging off this one, you know, you have that union here that you worry about failing. Now you're using these two together, and when the weight drops into the system, these two, instead of separating, they come together. They get pulled together, which makes it stronger. Makes your setup way safer, way stronger to use. But that little drift technique where you let it fly away from you can give you that perfect, like a piece lowering here and a piece lowering here can be the difference between your day being easy or being an absolute pain in the ass. So, yeah, just a little trick that I wanted to bring up. I'm actually going to build a little rigging setup. Nowadays, I have the ultra sling. So what I would do in this situation is use like the pulley and hook it up on the very longest setting, and then just have the rope as you were going to hook this part up. It wouldn't look like the craziest thing while it's set up. Like, it's going to look a little weird because you're going to have that limb here and your rope's coming all the way over to it. Say it's hooked up and it goes down, and you're going to have this sling that's hooked up, but it like droops down and then it goes up and hooks on, and it's got your pulley there. So it's kind of dangling down until that piece drops off, and then it extends itself out, ends up here, and that line drops down to this. And you only ended up swinging it this far. So I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does, because that's something that's really helped me before, is being able to achieve that perfect lowering point in between 2 points, plus you get the strength, the added strength of it. So I was picturing it like a tagline to create a floating reader. Got it. Yeah, it's nice to be able to use, and it's super simple to set up. And as you're doing that setup, you're able to just slide it down to the next spot. Slide it down to the next spot. You would shorten it up because you don't need it to be as long, because you still want that same lowering point, and it'll share it between the two to give you there. So yeah, just because where you're cutting isn't perfect and where you're sending isn't perfect doesn't mean you can't get the perfect distance by setting it up in a certain way, is kind of what I'm trying to say. Oh, right on, Nicholas. I hope it kind of makes sense, because sometimes I think of shit and my brain works different, and I think that's the hardest part about trying to share something when it comes to rigging, is the ability to explain it and make it make sense. Until a person is being put in the scenario, it's just hard for some of that stuff to make sense. So I hope I explained it correct. You're no tree guy, and you okay? Awesome. Yeah, it's facts, Chris. Sweet, right on, Fred. Let me know how it goes, brother. Farting redirect. Yeah, I don't want that one. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Nicholas. That's sick. Makes sense. Cool. Yeah, but yeah, Tim put up, and it was a good video. I just noticed that Tim, with especially when you set that up with your second rigging system, he was sending wood over, and he used the other tree. You know, even though he had good rigging set up, he would have had to like negative rig and fight it all the way down. So he's like, well, there's another tree I'm going to be taking down. He thinks ahead. I'm going to set a rigging line up into that. But instead of taking all this heavy weight and putting it on that, I'm going to share it between this stem and that. That way we're not crashing stuff into it. And it worked out real nice. And if you notice, your porter wrap worked like the ring or the redirect would have. It was set low. It was set with slack in it. But after the system tightened, it gave you that perfect in-between point, which is, I'm telling you, it can be the difference between a aggravating, miserable, low production day and it being just Perfect. So they're shit for life. I'm out now. But yeah, check out Tim's video. It's pretty good. The part where the tree cracked, that still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And that absolutely terrified me. I don't like that at all. Because I used to work with a guy who almost died climbing trees. He was working some storm damage and had his lanyard around the tree. And he made the cut in the top barber chair. The tree split and separated. And his lanyard locked. And it like went all the way out and almost destroyed. Well, it crushed his ribs, his sternum, like his stomach and everything. And luckily he was able to cut his lanyard off, because it could have killed him. Because you don't think about when a barber chair or that crack happens, that's so scary, man. I worry about that shit all the time. You got to think about, like, your lanyards around, that's nice, but if that thing barber chairs, it spreads, which sucks you into the tree. And then you're stuck with your hips smashed against. I think the dude may have broke his hips, and it was bad. It was real bad. But, yeah, that sketchy stuff. I don't like it. Cool that it worked out enough to where you were okay. Like, that's awesome. But that shit sketches me out. I don't like any of it. I hate barber chairing. But, yeah, check out Tim's video. It's pretty good. For a noob. For a noob. Not bad. Clint yells at you. Climber safe is paramount in sharing the load, especially. Yeah. Yeah, that's super important. Like, knowing, more emphasis needs to be put on, even though this looks to be a very healthy tree, that's awesome. If the tree looks to be healthy, that's awesome. That doesn't mean that you can then start max loading certain areas. What if there's a defect that you're not catching? So sharing the load in the tree, trying not to put weight on certain unions and cause them to separate, and which, when you're doing that, it could cause failure. Bringing those unions and actually compressing them with rigging systems. I don't think a lot of guys know how a rigging system works and why there's a purpose to have multiple points to where you have redirects. A singular system, if just like this, if you didn't have none of this here, and you were just rigging on this one stem over here, there's high potential. If you're just rigging off this stem, say you got yourself a little porter wrap down here, and you're rigging off this stem here, your line looks like this, and you're going to rig that straight down, it's going to take this whole lead here, and it's going to yank down on it. And it's usually going to go in a, like, the force is going to be applied like this in direction. This negative, this is what I call, oh my God, I feel like I just turned into fucking Billy Ray. This is what I consider negative space, is all this here. Spots where when you rig, your stuff can get wrapped up in it. It's where you're not making connection with the tree. So you start putting stress on it in certain areas that don't need it, like this area. So what I would do with a rigging setup, instead of running just like that, if I was forced to rig out on a stem that's out here like this, what I would do is I'd run a redirect here. So it would go up, then it would go out to this, and then what's happening is the force is being applied down into it, which isn't yanking it and separating these two. To make it even better, because I'm applying force kind of that direction, which is compressing, I would go higher with it. It would go all the way up here, which then applies the force in that which is causing these two stems that if I was just rigging off this, it's separating them. It's pulling this stem down every time. Now, if I share it between the two, when the weight drops in, these two stems come together. They compress because the weight's being shared. I just think more emphasis needs to be put on a strong, good rigging system. I think some guys just are like, rig, and just put the rope to rigging something that you rig from, and then hook it up to a tree nearby, and then you're side loading, and that stuff's scary. But if you've not had an accident or seen it go wrong, you don't know that it's scary yet. But that's it for Tim. Last one. This is my last one. Perry trees. Get rope into tree. That's a good title. That's a really good title. It's a quality title. But the video was just this cringy TikTok style video where you clip things together and have these. I kind of liked it. Like, it was a little corny, a bit cheesy. First trick he shows is how to simply just throw your rope up over a branch by using a hank, where you'll take and make some loops and throw the loop up over the wad of rope. And that's called like taking a hank of rope and then throwing it up. Next trick he shows is how to hand throw a throw ball. He also hooks his up the right way, the throw ball with the loop, where you run the loop through and over, and girth hitch. Then he shows how to slingshot a throw ball up there. That was a complete catastrophe. Like, one stick was too much, and then two was way too like, I don't know, you gotta watch it to understand. But I think he got the same situation as me. This is a slingshot from, maybe it was Cheryl Tree that I bought it from. This is a bow trigger setup that's attached to it, but mine is different than any other bow trigger setup because you can engage mine with your foot. So it's really simple to engage. It's got a ratchet strap that you engage with by stepping. You just hold this and step onto it, it engages it, and you shoot it with the trigger. It's just a little bow trigger right there. But yeah, I bought it and I don't use it. Like, I didn't use it after. It took me a very short period of time, and I went and walked through a hardware store and built an air gun, an air powered cannon. So, you know, I thought, well, maybe I could use hairspray. Well, that's stupid, because that costs money to shoot every time. You got to have hairspray. And then I'm like, because I got this. This is free every time. I just got to use a little bit of energy. Well, maybe I could use CO2s. That's even more expensive. If it has to cost me money every time I use it, that's not efficient. So then I was like, oh, just air. Just making an air tank is the ticket. So that's what we went with, and I ended up building one of those. So you want to see corny and cheesy when you meet me, BTS? That's facts. That's facts. You guys are awesome. But yeah, he shows the slingshot, and then he shows the APTA. He's got a pretty slick APTA setup where he's got this little compressor that's built onto it, and it's digital, and it airs it up. He's got a little red dot laser. But yeah, I built my air powered cannon. It cost me like $12. So don't spend a shitload of money. All you need to do is build an air tank. Like, I think I have old ones over here that were used. I think this thing was used. Yeah, this was used originally as a air-powered cannon. look how big this was. Like, we did some ignorant shit before we got it dialed down to just the singular tube that we use. So this was the original one. Look how big this damn thing is. This is crazy. And has an igniter back here. It's a potato gun, and you would just hit that. This was the spot that we made where you would crack this open, put the hairspray down there, fill this whole thing up. This thing was a legitimate cannon. It kicked. It was crazy. But it also shot a gnarly ass flame out the end of it every time. But yeah, the one I ended up going with, my one that I have, is pipe about like maybe less than, it's like 2 inch, maybe 1.5 inch straight. It's a cylinder, which you want high pressure cylinder that holds like for the air, and I capped it off. All you do is use a high pressure metal valve stem, drill a hole, put it in the inside, put it on, cap it, then put a butterfly valve. If you can find one, I used a ball valve. It's not quite as efficient. A butterfly is a little better. It opens up different. I think a butterfly opens like this, when a ball valve opens like this. So it's more efficient for that butterfly valve. You get the air to come out instantly. But yeah, that, and then, you know, a barrel. So I think I spent $12 on mine. That's bong. No, my bong's way cooler than that, dude. Come on. Just use acetylene. Jeez, okay. Yeah. Or propane. But yeah, I think, I mean, how long have we going? Yeah, shit. We'll be going 2 hours. Aren't you guys tired yet? You gotta be sick of hearing my voice. I hate my voice too. Um, yeah, stoked that we made it through this one. I swear to you guys, I had a hell of a buzz when I started. I've talked it off, which is nice. Yeah. It's been a long, long week, a long, long day. I also want to apologize to all my members. I pushed really hard last week and put out a lot of videos, and I've had a few days here where I haven't been able to work on anything. I had a few seconds at the wedding, like rehearsals, and I pushed a couple shorts out here in the past 2 days, but my apologies. I have so much. I have footage from years and years ago, so like I'm gonna kick out videos as fast as I can. Um, so work with me. Sorry, it's been a little sporadic. So I will get I will get them out to you guys. Um, I guess we'll be doing another live feed. Air is more than enough. Yeah, air is plenty enough. It will definitely do the job. Mine is so dialed in, my air gun, that I adjusted the air tank. It was way longer, and then I made it a little shorter, and then we used it, and it seemed like it was a little too big, so I compressed it down again, and I think my final gun, my tank ended up being half the size that I started with. And now I have it dialed in so that 1 psi of air will go like 1 foot. So like 60 psi will do a 60-foot shot. So that was nice. I got that dialed in, and I just kept taking a little bit of it off. I cut a little bit off. I recapped it. We retried it. I cut a little more off. I recapped it. So I hope it rains and it's cold. You're the worst, VGS. Yeah, so we will have another live feed before the expo, right? I think. It's raining here right now. It sucks. It was raining at the wedding as I was leaving, and I was so tired. So tired. So I come straight, wedding clothes still on, right out here, and we got to it. So yeah, forgive me for the slow week on content. I'm really stoked that we made it through this, because we can keep the streak going. This is number 96. We did this once before, And I don't remember, we made it to like 100 and something. I don't even remember how many it was. We won every week. We made it to 100 and something. So we have to beat that. I'm trying my best, and it just seems like it takes forever. Which I guess in actuality, it's almost been 2 years straight again. So, you guys, I'm sick of talking to you. This is miserable. I don't like anything or anybody. This is all dumb. So, thank you for giving me your time, though. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a very safe work week. And as always, my door is always open. You leave a comment if I can help you guys with anything. That's what I'm here for. We got a hell of a group of guys. I appreciate all you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. And thanks again for giving me your time and attention. I appreciate you. See ya.